It's been a few months Super Mario 3D All-Stars was released and Super Mario Sunshine got upgraded to widescreen and Full HD quality. It also got a patch update that added camera options and the Gamecube controller support, alongside with some fixes. But what is now the best version to speedrun Super Mario Sunshine? Let's take a look at all of the main versions for Super Mario Sunshine. The versions we will focus on are PAL, NTSC-U, NTSC-J, and Switch. There are a couple of weird versions too, but those are partially based on the Japanese version and the American version. I will tell version differences that matters in speedruns. Also, I do want to tell some fun differences that may not matter in speedruns. Let's get started. Every version has a different logo in a title screen. This is Americans, this is Europeans, and this is Japanese. The Switch version's logo is based on the language you play with. All of the versions has different options menu, especially Switch and the PAL version. PAL version has 5 different languages to choose, meanwhile the Switch version has 7 languages to choose. In a short cutscene, a Japanese version has different voice acting, which was changed for the later versions. If you're wondering why, it's because the lawyer says Shrine Sprites instead of Shine Sprites.
Because of all of our guardians, the Shrine Sprites have vanished.
In the Japanese version, fruits don't exist around the plaza, only in a market. However, in the later versions, fruits do exist around the plaza. Japanese version has faster loading time back to the plaza compared to the European and American version. Meanwhile, Switch version has faster loading time for everything. Before I forget to tell you, Switch version is based on the PAL version, which means everything that works in the PAL version works in the Switch version. In Peanut Park, this big Ferris wheel moves faster in the American version and the Japanese version. Meanwhile, in the PAL version and the Switch version, it moves slower. In Peanut Park 1 and 8, rockets can collide with each other in the Japanese version. In all of the other versions, you don't have to worry about rockets colliding with each other. If you are going for the fastest strat at the start of the Mecha Bowser fight by shooting a rocket immediately to it, you have to shoot this first rocket after you go past this rocket. Yoshi flutter can be done in all of the versions except Japanese version. This is because how Mario dismounts Yoshi. Take a close look how Mario dismounts Yoshi between these two versions. If you noticed, in a Japanese version Mario dismounts upwards instead of backwards. However, Yoshi flutter is completely useless, it's never used in speedruns. But there is actually a huge benefit for Japanese version's Yoshi. You can clip through ceilings. Though there is fruit storage that can be done in all of the versions except Japanese version, once again. The benefit of fruit storage is very small that it doesn't matter does it exist or not. Now let's get into something very spicy difference, shall we? Serena Beach 6 has some interesting differences. In the Japanese version, when you spray away the goop, there might be some invisible goop that you would have to spray later, because the goop requirement for Serena 6 in a Japanese version is very strict. The goop requirement is not that strict for the European and American version. Also, there is no invisible goop. But Switch version has this. Apparently this is already known with the Dolphin emulator before the Switch release. As it's been said, all 3 games for Super Mario 3D All-Stars runs in an emulator. It's not being found out what causes the timer to be stopped without spraying any goop off. We believe it's random. When you kill Shadow Mario and Shine spawns, it doesn't spin in a Japanese version. All of the other versions has it spinning. In Rico Harbor, when you use rocket in this corner in a Japanese version, you can change the water level to go higher. Floaty fruit glitch can be done only in the Japanese version. When you take air damage underwater in a Japanese version, you have less invincibility frames. Switch version lags less in some places where it would lag in the original version. Now this is a weird difference for the Switch version. The control stick for moving Mario is more sensitive compared to the original version. If you have played or speedrun both versions, you may notice the difference when you're playing with a Gamecube controller. When you race against Piantissimo in a Japanese version, there is no bumper when you start the race and finish the race, also there is no music while you're racing. Only in the Japanese version you can use the hover nozzle to cool down chain jumplets. In the Japanese version it is possible to hover right after taking a damage from Electric Koopa, but not in the other versions. There might be more differences that I am not aware of or we are not aware of as a community. My apologies if I have forgot something. Overall, when we look at the original version's differences, PAL version and American version are pretty same, meanwhile Japanese version has more glitches and faster loading time. So you may wonder now, what actually is the best version to use to speedrun Super Mario Sunshine? I personally would say the Switch version because it is now the fastest version after all. There are a couple of downsides for the Switch version though. There's no glitches that are exclusive to Japanese version and the control stick is sensitive. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.